Sit back, buckle up, and brace yourselves. This is Chennai Live 104.8, India's first and only digital talk station. Today we've got someone and something very, very special to discuss. For some people, it's power. For some people, it's personality. For some people, it is self. For some people, it is service. For some people, it is mind. For some people, it's the money. But for very few people, it's all of this and much, much more. Such is my guest today, filled with success, filled with commitments, and also flavored with controversy. The man needs no introduction because if I start introducing you, my entire podcast will go that way. So, Vanakkam and welcome to Chennai Live, Dr. Sam Paul. How are you?
I'm very fine. Vanakkam Rajiv. Thank you for having me here.
What we know about you is on the internet. Everyone knows who's Dr. Sam Paul, what he achieves, what he owns, how he's grown. We know that. In the next 30 minutes, Dr. Sam Paul, I want to speak to you about things that people don't know. People that is not there on the internet. Information that is there nowhere, but all that is there in your heart and on your mind. That's something we'll be discussing, Dr. Sam Paul. So are you ready?
I'm very ready for you.
You are always ready for everything. But Dr. Sam Paul, normally every interview starts with a rewind. How did you start off is what they will say. Today I say, let's start with a fast forward. What is your vision today, sir? When you started off, I remember Tony and Guy, you never thought will go so big. But then it's grown. Today the man has changed. Today he's got focus, he's got goals, he's got aims, he's got destination points. Let's start with fast forward. Few months later, when elections are happening, 5 years later, when the number of franchises grow, who's and where is Dr. Sam Paul?
So initially, when we started this company, it was more about survival. It was about earning your daily wages or earning your that was how any company starts. But today, the focus is much more, and it is more on staff welfare, keeping them happy, reducing your attrition rates, and making it more like a government company where you are compliant with all the government norms, including labor norms and your payment norms, salary norms, everything. So from that perspective, we are working very hard to make this company a home rather than a place where people transition and go, because all the businesses which we are in majorly, like salons, gyms, restaurants, have the highest attrition rate in India. And would you believe if I tell you my attrition rate is less than 1%, even not even 0.1% rather. So if you look at the number of staff who have left us in Tony and Guy or Essentials in the last 12, 13 years from company, would have been less than 12 to 13 people. Yeah, now you're looking at a strength of 7,500 people working in the company, which is not a small company at all. So from that perspective, the aim has changed from just growth to sustained growth, where people are very happy and it gives you a lot more family time, more like a Tata or that scale of company. Yeah.
Fantastic. I mean, the way one man has built an empire, இது வந்து ரொம்ப inspiring ஆன story இருக்கு. But in that empire, there's a lot of sacrifice, a lot of failures, a lot of hidden secrets. We'll come to that also. But, you said the number of people who have been with you, when they come to Paulson's, they don't leave. இன்னைக்கு வந்து நிறைய news articles நம்ம பார்ப்போம் that, that staff got a car, that staff got a home. I know that Dr. Sam Paul is a giver. The way you have given to your staff who have served you, the way you have made them grow from a simple monthly wage person to become a businessman in themselves, you've allowed them to grow. Tell us about how you groom people and why are they always connected with Paulson's? What is the secret behind coming to you and growing with you, not coming to you and growing somewhere else? Adu enna secret irukku? How do you groom them?
Catch them young, teach them well, watch them grow. But the thing is, to be on a serious note, actually, வந்துட்டு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, இங்கே இருக்கிற ஸ்டாஃப்லாம் we give them a home. I mean, where they come, they take responsibility and you give them the chance to take that responsibility. For example, all my top management in the company accounts and bank details like யார்கிட்டயுமே இருக்காது. ஸோ எங்கள் கம்பெனியில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஆல்மோஸ்ட் ஒரு 150 people will be top management, எல்லார்ட்டையும் அந்த டீட்டெயில்ஸ் இருக்கும். ஸோ தே அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் வாட் ஹேஸ் டு பி டன் ஃபார் திஸ் மந்த், எவ்வளோ இன்னும் டர்ன் ஓவர் இன்க்ரீஸ் பண்ணணும், எவ்வளோ மார்க்கெட்டிங் பண்ணணும், இஸ் திஸ் மந்த் கோயிங் ஸ்மூத்லி, இஸ் தேர் எனி திங். ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி வி கிவ் தம், வி ட்ரஸ்ட் தம் வித். So when you trust them with responsibility and when you treat them as part of the company and not as an employee but as a leader of the company, then there is always a chance that they stay back with you for a long time. From that perspective, from that vision, see, for example, one more thing you said, are you giving, are you giving? But see, the thing is, giving yes to all our top management. See, mattavanga car kodupanga, my staff have Porsche and BMWs. But the thing is it better for you to give or to make sure that they are able to earn it for themselves? And that is where we pride ourselves to saying that Nanga the highest paymaster in this field which we are in. Like we turn the field around. Like for example, barbering salons, in the today hairdressers, stylists, therapists, people getting 18,000 rupees, a lakh and a half, where they pay taxes from an unorganized sector to a completely organized sector. Same thing for gyms. Most of them were used to get 12 to 15. Almost 70-80% of my staff are getting over 80,000-90,000 rupees, gym trainers. So which becomes a home for them. They are taught that you have to be ethical. Right? I'm sure you met a lot of gym people. Class, pay tax. Completely ethical, completely white, completely. So they are taught this ethics which is groomed into them. So they take responsibility, not only the top management, even from a security officer to a cleaning person. Everybody is a leader in the company who do their duty of the company. All of us are just working for the company.
Is your politics like, say, business I'll give it a 3-month break, I'll come and make a sound. Success achina, I'll become a politician. I'll go back to business. Are you using this as, okay, let me see how I can do in this?
Definitely not. I think I disagree with you. But the thing is, the thing you have to understand is, it will be foolish for me to make a lot of noise when there is no election held or no campaign to be done, right? Whatever we do should be done in private, all our service and other things. For example, what we are taught is what your left hand gives, the right hand shouldn't know, right? So we do a lot of service and work, but during elections, because your campaign is so structured so that people should be able to understand the candidate, we make a lot of noise. The idea is not to make noise unnecessarily and be one of these corrupt politicians and be a very straightforward, ethical and responsible person. Idea is for people like us, we think of politics as an opportunity to serve. The power is used to defend the weak, not to enrich your coffers. I mean, it's so foolish. I mean, many fools, they earn so much money and through illegal methods. Legally, no problem at all. Through illegal methods, they don't know what they're earning for also. All they want to do is fill up their coffers. What happens is, like, in the Mario setup, you see, corruption is not a victimless crime. It is not a victim. யாருக்கும் பாதிப்பு இல்லை. அவன் ஒரு ஃபூல் சொன்னாங்கிட்ட பல்லு இருக்காம கூட தின்றான் அப்படின்ட்டு. That's all foolish. Corruption has victims. Corruptionனால நிறைய பேருக்கு வேலை போகுது. Corruptionனால இன்னும் your state and your clan of people are going down. So this has to be stopped. And what happens is, the worst thing that can happen is educated people are not allowed to get into politics. They kind of create a diversion. The corruption is the main topic. They talk about caste, religion, all this nonsense.
Diversion tactics.
Right. So they immediately start talking about something else. வேற எதையோ பேசுவாங்க. இங்க பிரச்சனை caste problem, இது problem. பட் அதெல்லாம் ப்ராப்ளமே இருக்காது. இதெல்லாம் முடிஞ்சு போய் ஒரு 50 years இருக்கும். இன்னைக்கு நீங்க என்ன caste, நான் என்ன casteன்னு பார்த்து யாரும் பழகிறது கிடையாது. Nobody cares also nowadays. In Chennai, it's like that. Maybe a little bit outside city. Yeah, let's be honest. These are non-issues. In fact, I saw your podcast with Arapuriyakam. I was very impressed. I said, என்ன மாதிரி அநியாயம் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க பாருங்க. I mean, see, இதை கேட்கறதுக்கு ஆள் கிடையாது. ஏன்னா, the funny part is, I keep telling this openly to everywhere. Everybody in town knows who the corrupted person is except the vigilance department. உங்களுக்கு தெரியாதா? எனக்கு தெரியாதா? யார் இவன் கரப்ட், அவன் கரப்ட்னு எனக்கு தெரியாது. எல்லாருக்கும் தெரியும். Except the vigilance department. இப்போ it has come to a certain stage where like, my teacher ஒருத்தவங்க, I mean, and she's 70, her mother's 95, just passed away. அவங்க டெத் சர்டிஃபிகேட்டுக்கு 20,000 rupees கேட்டுட்டு, I mean, they made her run around அடி some legal certificate. எல்லா லெவல்லையும் கரப்ஷன். ஒரு பாடி எடுத்து மார்ச்சரியில் கொடுக்குற கரப்ஷன். கேட்குற unchecked corruption. When can this TV stop? Only educated people come into power. கொஞ்சமாவது ஒரு கடவுள் பயம், கொஞ்சமாவது ஒரு கான்ஷியன்ஸ் எதுவுமே இருக்காது. ஓப்பனா அடி. யாரா கேட்கறது நம்மள? So that has to be stopped.
Sir, actors are getting into politics. And everyone's like, Dalapati vandirukanga. Actor Vijay is coming and starting his move. When a businessman gets into politics, we don't say so much. When an actor gets into politics, why are we so worried, or why are we making so much of noise? Your take on cinema and politicians, that connection மாறவே மாறாது சார். தமிழ்நாட்டில் அது கண்டிப்பா இருக்கும். And you're an actor yourself also, right?
I'm a part-time actor.
This one you admit you are part-time. Okay, but what is your take on this one, sir? What is your take on Vijay joining politics, number one? What's your take on actors joining politics?
The fundamental right of every person from the Constitution of India. I mean, it has given you rights to get into politics. I mean, you can't say you can't get into politics. Avaru politics kulla varakudadhu solradhe or periya thappu. Everybody is welcome, and the only thing is, being an actor should not be the only qualification you have. From that, I'm against people saying that, for example, I'm openly against uneducated people getting into politics. And this has been a very controversial topic, because uneducated people should not get into politics. Now, there are a lot of people who want to serve. Yes. So when somebody else told me, educated people da varno, Kamaraj la padikaliya appadina, you can't look at it from that subjective matter. You have to look at it, if Kamaraj has done so much without education, now how much he would have done with education. That is how you should look at the entire picture. So I think education is a very important criteria for getting into politics. But everybody can get into politics. But your heart has to be pure one. And just being an actor, I'm an actor, I can get into politics, which to me today in Tamil Nadu is a failure concept. So from that perspective, in one way, I welcome Mr. Vijay, because one, he's a Tamilian, and I'm sure he's going to kill it. But the thing is, I'm sure he has to get a lot of educated people to assist him and make sure that they run a very clean ship. It shouldn't be one of the nonsense again.
When you look at this current government, sir, what do you see as the pros? What do you see as the cons? Because today, if you tell me they have done nothing good, you're a politician, sir.
Yeah.
But if you tell me that this was good contribution, you're a citizen, sir. Good and bad is a part.
Right.
More bad, less good. More good, less bad. Enna good, enna bad that you see today as a Tamilan?
See, again, this is as sample as a Tamil boy, hardcore Tamil boy, and Tamil speaking representative of Tamils. From that perspective, I think the fact that initially when Mr. Stalin came to power, and he had done a lot of things for refugee Tamils in Tamil Nadu, I was very happy. I had written about it. I said, fantastic. The health minister, Mr. Masubramaniam, they say he's a very straightforward man, and it's a lot of people like that, Now, they stand up for a lot of things which I agree on. Like when I hear some of the leaders speaking about Periyar and all the policies on social justice, I agree on. The only question comes back to, who's talking all this nonsense? See, when you are corrupt, all these good things go for a toss. Correct,
Correct, sir.
and from that perspective, I think there are a lot of good things they have done. But everything is getting submerged by the corruption level. Extreme corruption level, unchecked corruption. It's not that, I'm sure the CM and other people are trying to control it, but uncontrollable ministers, some of them are. In fact, my mentor, Mr. Anbumani Ramdas, very clearly said, they are not ministers, they are not able ministers, they are vyabari, they are traders, he said, in the meeting the day before yesterday in our shadow budget release. Yeah. So I don't want to be politician and say that, they have not done anything, or that will be foolish. They have try to do things, but they don't have a vision to do things. See, prevention is always better than cure. The minute you stop corruption, the improvement is 1000% already. Everything changes. You don't have to increase the property tax. You don't have to increase the water tax. You don't have to increase the electricity bills. You don't have to do anything. Common man doesn't get affected. You online apply pananga, next minute the thing is coming. You don't have to have corruption in sand. You don't have to have 10 rupees extra in your liquor bottles. Ellame. So all this leads to victims, and which is the negative in the entire section for them. But the positive, they have done things which I'm sure, even for that matter, this Kelo India, this Chess India, all this.
The sports grounds have really, really grown up. It's become a very active
I think
place in terms of sports.
Their prince has taken over, and I think he has to show his, and he's doing you say good things, maybe you don't agree with the nepotism part, but you agree with the good things that's being done, and the Tamil Elam part, because they in fact, he had the Rajiv Gandhi killer convicts, who were extremely, because from law, I know some people are emotional about it and say, how can they be let go free and other, but you can't. You have to be a country which shows justice, mercy, and the idea of any punishment is to change, right? These people have done approximately around 30 years of jail time. You can't do this and that, and they have to be released. And they are on parole right now, and goes back to that, can people just roam around doing shit like this when during Jayalalitha's time, or for that matter even Mr. Karunanidhi's time, இதெல்லாம் பண்ண முடியுமா? பிச்சை எடுத்துட மாட்டாங்களா? இது ரொம்ப அன்செக்டாக இருக்குதுன்னு I've started feeling. இப்போ பாருங்க, they are comparing Chennai with Bihar, Chennai with UP. How can you do stupid things like this? Chennai was a very far developed place in 50s itself. People, see, even Dr. Ambedkar says, people in the south, meaning Tamil Nadu, are very progressive people. People in the north are not progressive, regressive. So there are so many things that are, you have to understand. So, the minute they are, see, you should see the infrastructure development in UP or Gujarat. They are more than Chennai. But Chennai by now should have become Singapore. This corruption is pulling you down. For Bangalore, paranga. Look at the food places in Bangalore. I recently wrote a post. Look at the development in Bangalore. Look at the development in Andhra right now. And look at where we are, Chennai. Abdiye stagnant. I'll give you an example. 2018 census, Bangalore has taken 52,000 crores as IT. this is 2018 census. 2009 to 10, 11. 52,000 crores Karnataka has pulled in for this IT income. You know what was Tamil Nadu? 4,000 crores. Why isn't it coming to Chennai? Why are companies not coming to Chennai? Is it the climate? Maybe. Is it anything else? Why isn't...
We have the port here, and we had this huge event now, sir. In the
is it
global
atmosphere?
investors.
Innovation, you have to see Karnataka to Tamil Nadu. See, not saying that, but Bangalore right now is a notch up Chennai. Nobody can say, oh, Chennai is asked. No. We have lost the battle here. Can you go to Bangalore and say, oh, Bangalore is not as good as Chennai? Look at the food scene. Look at everything. Look at the hotels that are coming up. Now, what has happened is, if Karnataka, Bangalore, there won't be any development. But Chennai is not like that. Right from here, Chennai to Kanyakumari, there's even distribution of development. So, 4,000 crores, 52. I mean, up and down 10-15%, I agree. All right? So, where is the competitive... I'm a guy who competes. It's not about the money. Some things you have to have the competitive spirit. Day and night work பண்ணி we should be number 1 வந்துருவேன். கரெக்டா இல்லீங்களா? இண்டஸ்ட்ரியில சரி வெளியில போய் சொல்லணும் தமிழ்நாடு இஸ் நம்பர் 1 அப்படி இந்த கரெக்டா இல்லீங்களா? இங்க பாருங்க, ஏதாவது இதை பற்றிலாம் பேசுனீங்கன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், பிஜேபி கவர்னர் எதையாவது கேஸ்ட் எதையாவது see diversion tactics, they are showing the left hand and right hand complete that vision is not there. When the transition was happening between the previous government and this is a joke. I had a friend who is a metro friend, a close friend. They know metro is coming up, so they have to do a lot of road cuttings. Okay, this is the biggest joke in the world. You will laugh. This is going to go viral right now. Listen to this. So, this is a government institute, right? Road cutting has to be given by corporation. Correct, இல்லீங்களா? So, நான் ஒரு நாள் கேட்டேன் இவர்கிட்ட, என்ன சார் எங்களால் பிச்சு இப்போ ரோட் கட்டிங்னா யூ ஹேவ் டு கிவ் பிரைப். கரெக்டாக இல்லைங்களா? லெட்ஸ் பி ஆனஸ்ட், எல்லாமே பிரைப் தான். இப்போ ரோட் கட்டிங் நீங்கள் பிரைப் கொடுக்கலன்னா நாளைக்கு பண்ணுற வேலையை ஒரு 2 months கழிச்சு வந்து பண்ணுவான். ஸோ நான் கேட்டேன், எப்படி சார் நீங்களாம் பண்ணுறீங்க? நான் என்ன பண்ணுறது சார்? They demand bribe for the other government institution to cut the road. So one government institution, which is metro, has to be bribed to the corporation to get a road cutting done. So என்ன சார் இப்படி சார் கணக்கு எழுதுவீங்க? எப்படி எனக்கு புரியல சார், just to understand the situation. So they told me, he's telling me, நான் என்ன பண்ணுவேன், இந்த கான்ட்ராக்டர்லாம் இருக்காங்களே அவனை போய் நீ கொடுத்துரு எல்லாத்தையும் லஞ்சத்தை. எவ்வளோ ஒரு கேவலம் பாருங்க. ஒரு லீவ் அலோன் டூ வே, ஒரு இண்டிவிஜுவல் பார்ட்டி ஒரு B2C எஃபெக்ட் ஆகுது, ஓகே சரிங்களா? சொல்லுது B2B, டேரக்டா ஒரு கவர்மெண்ட் டு கவர்மெண்ட் அவன் லஞ்சம் கொடுத்தா பண்ணிக்கிறான்.
These 2 F's are very, very important in business, failure and funding, sir. And failure, you are saying what happens if you fail. You have also failed, sir. You have learned from your failures. You have grown from your failures. You have imbibed lessons from your failures. So for an entrepreneur, what do you want to tell them that these are the mistakes Sam Paul himself did? Besides the brands we see under the Paulson's umbrella, there are many brands that started and changed its course, sir. So, enna lessons irundhudu that you learned from certain mistakes that you did, and you are saying free advice edunga, don't do my mistakes?
So, first of all, the first thing I will tell you is failures are very good for you. I mean, if you know how to use a failure, right? And every time I failed, I've stepped on this failure and gone up. So every time there was an issue, let us say I had a problem with the tax department, then I understood the mistakes and I stepped on it and made sure it's corrected over. So it's all a very good thing. Failures are the best thing that can happen to you if you're young, but you should know how to use a failure. I mean, that's the most important part. Now, if you are failing continuously, but then you don't understand that you've not corrected your mistakes from that failure, Every time a Tonian guy opens, every time a slam gym opens, every time I think back at the number of times I've failed in a sambar or a pink potato, or I mean, I did vegetarian restaurants. I'm still going to keep trying. But every time you fail, there's going to be a little bit of failure also. But have you corrected your system? Have you stepped on it and grown? These are most important things. And every time I failed, I have converted my weakness into strength. This is most important. You should convert your weakness into strength. And if you know how to do it, nothing is going to stop you.
Let me ask you a few things. When was the last time you gave a bribe?
So first and foremost, I've written a very in-depth article about bribe, right? And the second word which you should learn right now, Rajiv, is extortion. There's a difference, right? So one is bribe, one is an extortion. Now, bribe is when you do not meet certain criteria in a particular thing. Say, for example, you need a license for something, for an X. There are certain conditions prescribed by the government to attain that license. Now, let us say 10 conditions are prescribed. You do not have 3 conditions that are satisfied. 7 conditions you are satisfying. So, for these 3 conditions to satisfy, you are giving a bribe. Let us assume this. Now, this is called a bribe. This used to be there in the British government. This was a defined term in the British government. But in India, it is extortion. 100% of the people meet 100% of all the conditions for the X. 10 conditions are 10 conditions are met. But then the file is sent back saying staff is not there, this, that. Have you watched this movie, Sivaji?
Yeah, of course, that's news.
It is so correct. When Shankar did it, I was like, oh God.
Based on a true story, based on every person's true story.
Every businessman's true story. So the difference is extortion. Every businessman is extorted on a regular basis. Right? And for me, I've come to a certain stage where whoever you are, I pay everything in white, I account it and show it, that's all. It's up to you to tackle your government and friends. Simple as that. I will not budge on my principles on all this. But there is no necessity for anybody to pay a bribe. Why should you pay a bribe? See, what condition have you not prescribed? இப்போ ஒன்றும் இல்லை, உங்கள் இந்த லைசன்ஸிங்க ஒரு லைசன்ஸ் வச்சுருப்பான், அந்த லைசன்ஸ் கொடுக்குறக்கு ஒரு 10,000 வாங்கிடுவான். உண்மையா இல்லையா? What condition are you not satisfying that you need to pay him? You will satisfy every condition. கரெக்டாக இல்லைங்களா? If you don't pay the bribe, they are not going to give you the thing. கரெக்டாக இல்லைங்களா? Any ஒரு policeman to do his duty. See, now most of the time, to not do his duty, sometimes a bribe is paying. Correct இல்லைங்களா?
Correct.
But nowadays, to do his duty, you have to pay. That's an extortion, rather. Correct இல்லைங்களா?
So you defined it very well. Bribe versus extortion. Beautiful explanation.
I've written a big article on this in provoking.
ஆனா என் கேள்விக்கு பதில் சொல்லுங்க. When was the last time you paid a bribe?
Every businessman, leave alone me, every businessman, you tell me one business, including Tata, Taj, who I work with, are extorted.
They all have paid.
Not paid, they have been extorted on regular basis. So if anybody says, no, we are not party to extortion, what do you
So even a politician is being extorted.
ஏங்க பக்கத்து கவர்மெண்ட் கவர்மெண்ட் ஆபீஸ்க்கு ஒரு கவர்மெண்ட் காசு கொடுத்தா நாங்கள எந்த மூளைக்கு கரெக்டா இல்லீங்களா? மெட்ரோ கார்ப்பரேஷனுக்கு காசு கொடுத்தா மத்தவங்க எந்த மூளைக்கு?
Have you ever failed as a citizen, sir? You had to do something as a boy from Chennai, as an Indian, as a social worker, as a part of the public. நீங்க பண்ணனும்னு ஆசை இருந்தது, or you feel it was your duty but you failed to do so. Whether it was the recent cyclone or whether it was any other common day activities.
See, one thing, Dr. Ramdas, who's my who's like good for my political career, he has been a guide and everything for me. And he told that Sam Paul is a man who will never walk away from anybody asking for help or from his duty. And I will never walk away from doing my duty or, I mean, look at it. I've been a good citizen. I've paid my taxes all the time. I've never done black money in my life. You know, I can go openly and tell I've never done. I'm the highest taxpayer in Zone 5 and for GST and everything. So that way, yes, I think I won't say saying that you're the best is foolish.
You've been an ideal citizen.
I try to be an ideal citizen who can inspire others also. And I always write about paying your taxes fully and on time.
You and your party are anti-smoking and anti-alcohol. A lot of people say, then if they come to power, what are they going to do?
I always say this, again I'm telling you this, I think I told this earlier in the segment, don't do anything that you don't want your children to do. I mean Rajiv, I'm sure you enjoying a drink is one thing. Would you mind your child enjoying a drink? Now, would you mind your child having a smoke? No. The third question comes, where does the child draw the line and where do you draw the line and say, okay, I'm able to take a drink, I'm able to take a smoke, but I won't do weed, or I won't do. I won't smoke up. Where do you stop? Where do you stop this? Where do you draw the line? So one thing I have studied is, like, if you're a Tamilian, if you're a South Indian, if you are an Indian for that matter, do you have this in your culture? Now, was your grandfather drinking or smoking? Was your grandmother drinking or smoking? And the answer predominantly is a no. I'm sure there are, initially it was a male-dominated segment. Now my father used to drink or smoke. I have never touched it. So I made a conscious decision to say that, no, I'm not going to do this. But if you look abroad, they start at a very young age. Like when I was having some students from Amsterdam, they used to drink wine when they were 10 or 12. I think they started beer by 15, 16. It's there in their culture. They take a drink, one drink or two drinks, and then they say, my health cannot be wasted. I can waste the drink, they keep it up. நம்ம ஊரில் அப்படி கிடையாது. ஒரு பாட்டில் எடுத்து அப்படியே ஃபுல்லாக முழுங்கிடுவாங்க. And then they are like still, oh, we drank so much, look at how much he drink. And I mean,
அது ஒரு pride.
It's a foolish thing.
Yeah.
So think about it. It's so foolish. You are getting into a habit which you are not going to control. And when I work in my company, I have seen so many lives, so many families lost because of drinking and smoking. And I make sure that, to my maximum, whatever legally possible, I make sure that none of them drink or smoke in my company. And there are times when I have put the salary in the wife's name also, saying that you should not drink or smoke, because this is a horrible thing that can happen to people.
What is going to be your stance? TASMAC is Tamil Nadu government's greatest revenue generator. Money comes from there. What is your stance on alcohol for the public?
See, you should understand that, first of all, TASMAC is not the greatest revenue generator. The sand is the greatest revenue generator. That is a natural resource. Now, this has been stolen left, right, and center, and this becomes, as soon as any party comes to power, the sand is being stolen left, right, and center. So that lower cadres and all, so TASMAC becomes the second biggest generator. See, first of all, government running a liquor system, first of all, you should understand law. The directive principle of state policy of every government in Tamil Nadu under the Indian Constitution, right, very clearly says that you have to stop liquor. So this was introduced as a temporary measure for some funding. See, the ideal situation would be to make sure that people understand that, அளவோட குடிக்கிறோம். You know, understand what I'm trying to say? Maybe, like, say, how it would be nice when weekly once when you go to the family, you enjoy a drink. Maybe your wife also does. I mean, you are responsible enough to engage a driver, come back home safely, and that finishes the entire week. Let's be honest. Children are getting into smoking weed, correct or not? I mean, if you think you don't know this, if this is not happening, then you're just turning a blind eye.
The drug trade in Tamil Nadu is the highest it's ever been.
If latest police officer, Sam, it is not controlling controlling, it is called controlled distribution. அந்த காலத்தில் சாராயம் இருக்குல்ல, ஸோ என்ன பண்ணுவாங்களா, when they did not have enough and more liquor companies, so they used to have controlled distribution of liquor. கொஞ்சம் சாராயம் அலோவ் பண்ணிடுவாங்களாம். ஏன்னா அந்த பப், ஸோ டு கீப் பீப்புள் ஹை ஆல்சோ லிட்டில் பிட். ஏன்னா கொஸ்டின்ஸ் கேட்க மாட்டீங்க, இவனோட கரப்ஷனுக்கு நீங்கள் கேள்வி மாட்டீங்க, as long as you get your liquor every day. கரெக்டாக இல்லைங்களா? இப்போ என்ன ஆயிடுச்சு, அதெல்லாம் போயிட்டு கண்ட்ரோல் டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூஷன் ஆஃப் ட்ரக்ஸுக்கு வந்துடுச்சு. ஏங்க, இந்த போலீஸ்காரர்களுக்கு தெரியாமல் ஏதாவது ட்ரக்ஸ் ட்ரேட் நடக்குமா? இவனுக்கு தெரியாத எங்கெங்க விற்கிறான்ட்டு. இவன் ஒழுங்காக உதச்சானா தெரியாதா? எவன் வீடு விற்கிறான், எங்கெல்லாம் என்ன நடக்குது இவங்களுக்கு தெரியாதா? எங்க ப்ராஸ்டியூஷன் நடக்குது, எங்க வீடு நடக்குது, எங்க இவனுக்கு தெரியாதா? ஸோ அவங்களுக்கு அப்போ என்ன ஆயிடுது, இவனுக்கு ஃப்ரீ ஹேண்ட் கொடுக்க மாட்டான் போலீஸ் ஸ்டேஷன். வி ஆர் ஓப்பன் டு டிஸ்கஷன். ஏன் கவர்மெண்ட் அது பேசுவாங்களே, சும்மா ஓப்பனாக வந்துட்டு சென்ட்ரல் மோசம், ஒன்றிய அரசு மோசம், இதெல்லாம் ஓகே. இது ஆக்சுவல் இஷ்யூ இஸ் கரப்ஷன், ஆக்சுவல் இஷ்யூ இஸ் கேஸ்ட் இராடிகேஷன். ஏன் 70 இயர்ஸ் பவரில் இருக்கு, ஏன் இன்னும் இராடிகேட் பண்ணல? ஏன் ஒரு பாஸ் பண்ணிடுங்க, சத்தி சிஸ்டம் வாஸ் இராடிகேட்டட், அது கூட இராடிகேஷன் போட்டிங்களா, ஸ்லேவரி சிஸ்டம் வாஸ் இராடிகேட்டட், கரெக்டாக இல்லைங்களா? பாண்டட் லேபர் இஸ் இராடிகேட்டட். இதுக்கெல்லாம் பண்ணும்போது ஏன் கேஸ்ட் சிஸ்டம் ஒரே இராடிகேட் பண்ணிடுங்க. The idea for coming to power is not to say that, oh, we are going to be CM, PM and all this nonsense. Not like that. The idea is to change the city we love in the market. என்ன பண்ண போறீங்க, எந்த ஃபீல்ட்ல ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ணிட்டு என்ன தப்பு நடக்குது நீங்க மாத்த போறீங்க? Everything will change. See, the change is, first of all, people should understand that இந்த ஊர் வந்துட்டு இந்த லைஃப் ஈஸி கிடையாது, இந்த ஊர் ஈஸி கிடையாது. இங்கே இருக்கிற செட்டப் இஸ் நாட் ஈஸி, த சிஸ்டம் இஸ் நாட் ஈஸி. அண்ட் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆல், ஹூஸ் த கிரேட்டஸ்ட் மேன் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, காமன் மேன் ஹூ கோஸ் டு ஒர்க் எவ்ரி டே, கம்ஸ் பேக் ஹோம் ஆஃப்டர் 9-10 hours, அந்த கிடைக்கிற சம்பளத்தை வச்சு ஃபேமிலியை ஃபீட் பண்ணி, ஸோ யூ ஆர் த கிரேட்டஸ்ட். ஸோ ஆல் யூ பீப்புள் அவுட் தேர், யூ ஆர் த கிரேட்டஸ்ட் இன் திஸ் வேர்ல்ட் டு மீ. அண்ட் மை ஜாப் ஆஸ் அ பொலிட்டிஷியன் இஸ் டு மேக் யுவர் லைஃப் ஈஸி. இந்த கரப்ஷன் எல்லாத்தையும் அவாய்ட் பண்ணி, டு மேக் யுவர் லைஃப் மோர் ஃபன், டு மேக் யுவர் லைஃப் இஸ் சம்திங் தட் யூ ஷுட் லுக் ஃபார்வர்ட் டு. இதுதான் என்னோட ஜாப். My job is not to create more problems for you. If you're a businessman, my job is to make sure you understand your business better and expand more and pay more taxes. Give more employment. If you're a normal salary taker, my job is to make sure that you get more salary on a regular basis. You get your bonus. You get all the benefits you can. If you are a driver my job is to make sure your life is better. Unga life better ஆக்குறது தான் எங்களோட வேலை, பொலிட்டிஷியன்ஸோட வேலை. இங்கே அப்படி கிடையாது. உங்களை துன்புறுத்துறது ஒன்றும் இல்லை. இன்டைரக்டாக உங்களுக்கு நல்லபடியாக பேசி, உங்களுக்கு இதெல்லாம் பேசி, உங்களை துன்புறுத்தி இன்டைரக்டாக உங்களுக்கு வர வேண்டிய காசு, சலுகைகள், கவர்மெண்ட் கொடுக்குற எல்லா சலுகையும் எடுத்துகிட்டு போயிடுறாங்க. மை ஜாப் இஸ் டு மேக் ஷுர் தட் அவர் ஜாப் இன்ஃபேக்ட் இஸ் டு மேக் ஷுர் தட் திஸ் டஸ் நாட் ஹேப்பன் டு யூ. Taxes should be reduced. என்ன பாருங்க, டேக்ஸ் வந்துட்டு வெறும் உங்களுக்கு இன்கம் டேக்ஸ் இல்லைன்றாங்க. ஆனால் வேரியஸ் ஃபார்ம்ஸில் வராங்க. ஜிஎஸ்டின்றது ஒன்று, சென்ட்ரல் டாக்ஸஸ், இன்டைரக்ட் டாக்ஸஸ், ப்ராப்பர்ட்டி டேக்ஸ், வாட்டர் சார்ஜஸ், சூரேஜ் சார்ஜஸ், ப்ரொஃபஷனல் டேக்ஸ். இங்கே பாருங்க எப்படி வராங்க பாருங்க. ஓவரால் டேக்ஸ் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா டாக்ஸேஷன் இஸ் அப்ராக்சிமேட்லி 38 to 39% direct effect. How to reduce this? Only by reducing corruption. Corruption reduce பண்ணது ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்லி இது பாருங்க ஆல்மோஸ்ட் 15 to 18% corruption இருக்கு. So this can be brought down to as less as 22 to 25 to have a safe and happy country. Is India a progressing country? For sure India is a progressing country. But is India a happy country? For sure it is not, because of the people like this. Our job is to make sure that India is a happy country for people like you. If I was given a chance or we were given a chance, we will be more accessible. இங்கே உங்கள் எம்பி எம்எல்ஏ கிட்ட உங்களால் பேச முடியுமா? பேச முடியாது. Our job is to be more accessible, to make sure these things change. And that is the only thing we are looking for, and that is the only thing we are promising. Things will change. All this corrupted people will be thrown out one way or the other. And that is the only thing I can promise you.
Fantastic. This finger, sir, will be out very, very soon for people to vote. But what I can do for you is fold my hands and tell you thank you very much. Results will come by based on the public, but the intention is yours to serve the people. And I thank you very much for your
thank you very much for having me.
Extremely wonderful.
Thanks to the lovely boy who was been patiently hearing us.
Thank you very much, sir. It was a pleasure having you.
Pleasure's all mine.
I know you as the entrepreneur. I know you as an icon, and very, very soon we will love you as a politician as well. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure having you on Chennai.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
This is Chennai Live, Radio Redefined.